Have you ever seen a job posting for a junior level intern that asks for 5 years of experience, a master's degree in quantum physics, and the ability to talk to dolphins? I have. Well, maybe I made up the part about the dolphins, but the rest is as real as the automatic rejection email you get 3 seconds after applying. If you're from Generation Z, you probably feel like looking for your first job is like trying to win at Monopoly when someone has already bought all the properties and built hotels on them. You're stuck in a cycle. You need experience to get a job, but you need a job to get experience. It's a loop worthy of a Christopher Nolan movie, but without the appeal of Leonardo DiCaprio. The thing is, you're not crazy and it's not your fault. It's the system. A system that seems designed to create a slow-motion job market apocalypse. To understand this mess, we have to go back a bit. Our grandparents, the boomers, entered a job market that was like playing a video game on easy mode. A handshake and a good attitude could get you a lifelong job with a pension included. Then came the millennials, who were promised that a college degree was Willy Wonka's golden ticket, only to graduate in the middle of the 2008 financial crisis. They had to play on normal mode with some pretty tough final bosses. But for Generation Z, the game has been set to nightmare difficulty. They've taken away the tutorial, and to make matters worse, the developers are about to release a patch called Artificial Intelligence, which could wipe out half of the low-level non-playable characters. How is it possible that with 75% of companies saying they have trouble filling vacancies, the response rate to applications from recent graduates is barely 12%? The answer has a name that sounds like a low-budget horror movie: ghost jobs. The origin of these ghost jobs is, ironically, a mix of laziness and evil genius. At first, they were just simple postings that an HR department, probably overworked and low on coffee, forgot to take down from the website. But some companies realized the power these fake job postings had. They were like Batman's scarecrow. They weren't real, but they instilled a very useful fear. The idea evolved from a simple oversight into a corporate strategy. The ironic twist is that online platforms, created to make job searching more efficient, became the engine behind the biggest employment hoax in history. And what's the trick to the business? It's a toxic cocktail. According to a survey by My Perfect Resume, 40% of recruiters admitted to having posted fake job offers. Why? First, to give a false impression of growth. A company that's always hiring seems healthy and expanding, which reassures investors and scares the competition. It's the corporate equivalent of posting photos from your vacation 3 years ago on Instagram so your ex thinks you're doing great. Second, and this is the darkest part, to keep current employees afraid. If they see that the company is constantly looking for replacements, they'll work harder, ask for fewer raises, and won't complain. It's a form of psychological lock-in. And third, massive data collection. Every time you apply, you hand over a resume full of valuable information about your skills, your salary history, and your expectations. Companies create gigantic databases to analyze the job market without spending a single cent on consulting. You are both the product and the market research, all in one. Does this strategy of creating an illusion of abundance to keep the user hooked sound familiar to you? It's exactly the same model used by dating apps. They show you an endless carousel of profiles, giving you the feeling that there are thousands of opportunities out there. But the platform doesn't make money when you find a partner and delete it. It makes money while you keep searching, paying for super likes or premium subscriptions. LinkedIn, Indeed, and other platforms profit from companies that pay to post job listings, whether they're real or not, and from the traffic you generate while applying to positions that never existed. The goal isn't for you to get a job, it's for you to keep playing. Do you think I'm exaggerating? In Japan, the platform Rukunavi, which focuses on recent graduates, was caught selling corporations like Toyota and Mitsubishi predictive scores about the likelihood that a candidate would turn down an offer. Basically, they were selling applicants' private information so companies could filter out those who had more options. The scariest part is that Rukunavi is a subsidiary of Recruit Group, the same company that owns, yes, you guessed it, Indeed and Glassdoor. The problem isn't a system error, it's a feature designed from the top down. The call is coming from inside the house. The impact of all this is brutal. The Wall Street Journal states that Generation Z is facing the worst job market in over a decade. With 72% of young people living paycheck to paycheck, it's no wonder that the average personal debt for this generation is $94,111, far above that of millennials. Meanwhile, since 1979, worker productivity has increased by 80%, but wages have only gone up by 29%. Companies are richer than ever, but that wealth isn't trickling down. They're asking you to build a skyscraper with a screwdriver and paying you with a thank you and a cold pizza in the office. You can win at this rigged game. To get into the job matrix, you can't use the front door. You have to think like Neo and realize that the spoon, or in this case, the easy apply button, doesn't exist. The solution is to skip online platforms altogether. The hack is networking, but not the kind where you add 200 people on LinkedIn and hope for a miracle. I'm talking about going to events in your field, talking to real people, asking for informational interviews. A practical tip: instead of asking for a job, write to someone you admire at a company and offer to buy them a coffee in exchange for 15 minutes of their time so they can tell you about their career path. You're not asking for anything except advice. You'd be surprised how many people say yes. And that human connection is worth more than 1,000 ghost applications. The problem is that all of this operates in a huge legal gray area. There are no federal laws in the United States that explicitly prohibit ghost jobs. Some states like New Jersey and California have proposed laws, but progress is slow. Meanwhile, the government is indirectly fueling this problem. Through tax subsidies, billions of taxpayer dollars are given to corporations with the promise of creating jobs. But as Greg Leroy explains in his book The Great American Job Scam, many times those companies receive the tax benefits and then cut staff or automate positions. Public money turns into profits for shareholders and donations for politicians' re-election campaigns. It's a perfectly greased vicious cycle. It all comes down to the economics of fear and convenience. For companies, posting ghost jobs is a convenient and cheap solution to maintain control and project an image of success. For you, applying online is easy and gives you the feeling of being productive, but it's false productivity. It's like running on a treadmill. You sweat a lot, but you don't get anywhere. The real solution, networking, requires effort, courage, and stepping out of your comfort zone, something the system is designed to make you avoid. It's more profitable to sell you a magical solution that doesn't work, but keeps you hooked. And on the darker side of this spectrum, fraud runs rampant. Job scams and fake agencies have increased from $90 million in losses in 2020 to over $500 million in 2024. Scammers take advantage of desperation, creating job offers that are too good to be true, which end up stealing your personal information or asking you for money for a background check that never happens. It's the job market version of the Nigerian prince, but instead of a poorly written email, they use a perfectly designed LinkedIn page. And how do the platforms dress it up? With flawless user experience, or UX design. LinkedIn gamifies the process for you. It gives you badges, tells you you're a top candidate, shows you a stellar profile bar. Everything is designed to give you little hits of dopamine that make you feel good, even if the end result is nothing. They make you feel like you're progressing in a game, when in reality you're just feeding the algorithm. It's the equivalent of microtransactions in a video game. You don't realize how much time and data you're spending until it's too late. So we go back to the beginning, to that ridiculous job posting that asks for 5 years of experience for an internship position. It's not a mistake. It's a symptom of a broken system that values perception over reality and short-term gains over long-term talent. Generation Z is not lazy, nor do they feel entitled to everything. They're simply the first generation to come face-to-face with a wall that previous generations helped build. The moral isn't to give up, but to understand that the rules of the game have changed. It's no longer about playing better, it's about playing a completely different game. What's the most absurd job posting you've ever come across? And honestly, do you think AI will be a tool to help you in your career or a direct replacement? If you're interested in learning how these economic traps extend beyond the workplace and even reach your shopping cart, you have to watch this video about the buy now, pay later trap. There you'll realize that the problem is much bigger than it seems.